And in very different modalities, blogging and...
Right, and we teach them how to do blogs, we teach them how to make websites, we teach them how to do newscasts, we teach them how to write for newspapers. So we're hopefully getting all of those skills, you know, honed in for them.
Okay. My understanding is that you use video essays for your students, that they have to do those. Can you explain what that is, how you grade it, and how the students learn from
Sure.
those?
A video essay is a project that the advanced broadcast students do. It's too complicated, really, for the beginning students in video. But the first class, called Journalism 370, is advanced broadcast. And one of the things we want to teach them is how to tell a story without using your own words, which is a difficult concept for them to grasp. So I'm going to tell a story about someone who is a woodcutter, a guy who makes figures out of wood. But the point is, I'm going to interview him and totally tell his story through his own words, and using the video that I shoot watching him do his wood cutting. That's one example of a video essay that one of the students actually did. So the idea that you have to ask the person the kinds of questions that will elicit the answers that has him tell his story, and then you're going to cover the video with it. It's a difficult thing to pull off, but our students have done marvelous jobs with it. It always amazes me, the video essays that turn out as well as they do.
Are any of them actually ever used in commercial news or on channels outside of the university?
Well, I have sent some of our video over to WPIX and to Channel 55 and over to News 12, because some of the video essays are evergreen. You know, they're not pegged to a certain, they're the kind of essays that could end a show. There's no particular peg to it. It's just kind of a nice human interest story. And I don't know if anyone's aired anything yet, but I certainly want to, the better they get, the more I want to send them to the commercial stations and see if they'll air them.
So how are they done as individual projects, group projects?
Individual projects.
And how do you grade something like that?
Well, you grade on their ability to shoot. You grade on their shooting capability, on their editing capabilities, and how they put the whole story together, how they actually were able to do the interview, their interviewing skills. Again, you never hear their voice, but all of the work, the final video essay, is everything that they've done. So you're grading the different bits. You're grading, you know, how they did the interview that then elicited those answers, how they shot it, how they edited it, how it all came together.
Any peer assessment as part of that?
In the final class, we show all the students each other's video essays, and again do some critiquing.
Okay.
And one of the running themes through especially the broadcast classes that I like to stress is peer review, because, you know, again, this is a medium where lots of people are going to see your work, and lots of people are going to criticize it, even your own mother, you know?
Especially your own mother.
Exactly. No, Marcy, why did you have this on the news tonight? So, you know, it's important that they understand that this is not personal, it's all about getting you better.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about capstone. Are these capstone projects in journalism different than the video essays? Include them?
It's different, and they do include some video, but not a video essay per se. The capstone class is a class that every senior has to take, and we call it the final project. And the student has to pick a story, report it in depth for 6 weeks, write a print article about it, create a video about it, like a broadcast piece, and bring the whole thing together on a blog. That includes links, that includes added value, that includes interactivity. So by the time the semester is over, every student has his or her own blog with a story. So say, for example, one student did a story on autism, on children with autism, and she had the title on her website, she had the video, she had the print piece, and lots of links to other things that had to do with autism. She might have some interactivity, encouraging people to talk about their experiences with their children with autism, and so forth. So each project, and it's a serious project, these aren't fluff pieces, these aren't just features about something, these are actually pretty in-depth stories.
So how do you make it serious? It was interesting the way you put that. Is it just by giving it a high proportion of the grade for the course, or?
No, what I mean by that is we ask them to pick a topic, pick a subject that is of a serious nature.
Okay.
So autism is of a serious nature. One student this year compared two high school districts, one from a wealthy neighborhood, one from a not wealthy neighborhood, and she compared them and the budget cuts and how they would affect them. So serious subjects in that sense, that's what I meant.
All right. So, as the Associate Dean, a new faculty member comes to you and says, Marcy, I've never thought before. What would be the most important tip that you could give that faculty member?
I would tell, a faculty member that's going to come teach in the journalism school? Well, generally they come with a lot of stuff that we already want. I would say just be yourself in front of that class, be enthusiastic, be energetic, try and get that passion out of the students. We are all here to create great journalists. I want them to concentrate not on the tools, the cameras, the editing, all of the tools, the fun computers and all that. That's secondary. The main purpose we're here is to make great journalists, to have students who want to go out, find the truth, report it, and tell somebody about it.
Okay. So passionate about truth rather than the tools to do
Exactly, exactly. The tools are a fun bit they get
Sure.
to use, but they're useless if you don't know what a story is.
Okay. So now a question for our audience. How would you change production facilities for teaching the next generation of journalists? The answer when we return. Joining us is Phil Altiere, Multimedia Coordinator at Stony Brook within the TLT organization. Stony Brook is lucky to have two cutting-edge TV studios which Phil manages and has been responsible for setting up one of those studios for the journalism program. So Phil, tell us, how do you configure a studio to help teach today's journalism students?
I think when Marcy and I were starting the design for what technology was going to go into the room, we wanted to make sure that whatever technology got installed wouldn't get in the way of the journalism students able to learn journalism. We didn't want them to get caught up in all the technical aspects, get wrapped in those issues. We wanted them to concentrate on their stories, concentrate on being good anchors, articulate, perfect their craft. And at the same time, still deliver a professional product in the end that could compare with anything that's on the air right now. So in doing so, we researched equipment that was easy to use, that worked in language that today's student is accustomed to, having to edit video themselves before they even walked in, using YouTube. So working with that language, creating a switcher, 3-camera setup that's high definition, you going digital end to end, still have a high quality product, but at the same time using things like touch screens and simple things like cut and paste that can actually put together a whole entire new show and be able to switch it live.